Simply music 24/7. We are in the study of the Vibe House where we talk real life, real money, and being your best self. I'm your host, Derek Gant. Every Sunday. I'm here to help you think bigger, work smarter, and become unstoppable. You know why? Because around here, we don't chase mediocrity. We dominate and walk in our divinity. This show is about living your 24K life, mastering your mind, money, body, and soul to live boldly, unapologetically at your highest level. Are you ready? Let's lock in.
Hey, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Happy Sunday. I'm proud and happy to be here again on another Sunday sharing all my little tools and tips on insights. Listen, there's nothing, other than my kids being amazing, there is nothing that makes me more content, more happy, more fulfilled than to help each and every one of you figure out how you can level up your life and use some of the tips and tools that I have come to become an expert on. I've been an insider on being able to see how these tips and tools work. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that if you apply some of the things that we talk about every Sunday, and here's the deal, you don't even really need to apply it. All you really need to do is to consider the things that we talk about, see if they apply to your life, and what happens if you test it out. You know, we talk about money, we talk about mindset, we are talking about your body, building your own personal brand. Listen, every one of us is coded. We are coded with a specific DNA in order to produce results that were made specifically for us. And when you tap into that energy, when you tap into that vibration, when you tap into what you're here for, why you're here, you're going to be so much more excited. So I'm here to help you figure out how to tap a lot deeper into who you are, where you are, what you're doing, and how you can get more. Because if you don't want more, then you might as well just check out. And all of us want more. We're creators. We want, my lady always says when something is going amazing in her life, she is intent on having more of that amazing. It could be amazing rest. It could be amazing help. It could be a great new contract. But the reason why she's consistently attracting is because she's regularly asking. And she'll say, more, please. And she's talking to God, she's talking to the universe, she's talking to any and everything and one that's listening that has any vibration about bringing more into her life. That's where I think we need to be. And I think that not only do we need to be aware of the good things, I was talking to a client yesterday, and we were talking about making sure that you don't tap into and aggressively show up for the bull. The bull. There's people that want to have conversations that are just idiotic. They're not going anywhere, and they're going to tee you off. They're going to upset you. Why would you entertain more of that? You want to avoid all negativity, all things, forget negativity, all things that rub you the wrong way. You really should be trying to avoid. So today, we're going to talk about the one thing that I see my wealthiest, most successful, healthiest, happiest clients, people that I've run into over the last 60 years. I'm going to give you the inside scoop on the number one principle that they use in order to continuously manifest a better life. You know, the adage is the rich get richer and everybody else is jealous. But here's the truth of the matter. They are attracting more while you're repelling more. And I'm going to tell you why and show you how. This is Derek Gant on Vibe106.com. This is the 24K Life radio show. We're hosted on Vibe106.com and also on Derek Gant 24K YouTube. Hey, stay.
I'd previously done years and years and years of therapy, but needed some accountability. I was about 1.5 years into my business, and it was growing exponentially. A lot was happening at home with my family, with my parents, with my caregiver responsibilities, and it felt like, as Dawn and I call it, I was juggling glass balls. Dawn was able to teach me how to just be in the quiet. I'm your typical like meditation, sit cross-legged, candles around you, and like that's not me, but a quiet moment in my car, being able to reset for myself. What are my intentions and what do I need? I would say Dawn is a vibe. When she gives you a hug, when you enter her space, when you talk to her, it is an energy that passes through you. As long as you are open to accepting it, she will be there to support you 110%.
It's time for my favorite tune. I hope you're ready, and I hope it becomes yours too. This is the 24K Life on Vibe 106. This is Easy on the Tracks, 24K Life.
I was broken spirit, now I walk in light. Hook in my left and peace in my right. Didn't chase the blocks, I chased the word. Now my feet stay steady even when it hurts. I learned slow game, be fast, pride. Plant good seed, let the Lord provide. Be hands, clear mind, I don't need the show. Heaven in my steps, watch the favor grow. He ordered my steps, make my table full. I say yes, 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 yes. Now I live by the rule. 24K life, 24K life. God's favor on me shining so bright. Golden mindset, I keep it right. Abundance on me, 24K life, 24K life, 24K life. Faith over fear, I sleep at night. I obey, he blesses the drive. 24K. My wins and wisdom, nothing changed. Not by what I wear, but the change in my veins. Discipline, rhythm, I arrive on time. Prayer on my tongue and no plan in my mind. I don't need a flex, but the world calls free. I'm free in my soul and the rest follow me. Bills get handled, doors swing wide. When I walk in purpose, grace takes the ride. He ordered my step, make my table full. I say yes, 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 yes. 24K life, 24K life. God's favor on me shining so bright. Golden mindset, I keep it right. Abundance on me, 24K life, 24K life, 24K life. Faith over fear, I sleep at night. I obey, he blessed us to drive. 24K. Not from the streets, but from the throne. Built on the rock, I stand alone. Every closed door, he got. Now I move with heaven on my side. Stay on me, shining so bright. Golden mindset. Be right, abundance on me, 24K life, 24K life, 24K life. Fear I sleep at night, I obey, blessed to drive, 24K life, 24K life.
Hey Tara, hey Kobe, glad you're here. Hey, the more the merrier, Tara. I haven't talked to you in a while. You need to hit me up. You know your boy misses you.
The 24K Live Show, Sundays at 2 o'clock on Vibe106.com. Tap in, level up, be the goal.
Hey, we are talking about The Secret. This, I swear to you, you hear a lot about The Secret, the one thing, all that kind of stuff. I promise you, this is the single largest tool that I have used, that I have seen used in my clients' lives, in my family's lives, anybody that I've been able to share this concept with that actually applied it on a regular basis. It is the single biggest asset for them. And I want you to think about this. When you go in your closet, or when you look at your fitness life, or even your bank account, because the rule applies to every aspect of our lives. when you go in your closet, let's take your closet. It's the easiest thing to kind of connect with. You go in your closet and you look at your clothes. In your drawers, you look at your outfits, and you can separate your fits out. You can say, hey, this is my work stuff. This is my play stuff. This is my workout, workout like at workout, not work, but your workout gear. You can separate everything out. And here's what I'm going to have you notice. You only wear 20% of the stuff in that closet. You only wear 20%. Like if it's clean, you're going to rewear the same things because it's your favorite stuff. And what I'm saying to you is that it's not like an accident. And I use your closet as an example because it's something that you can run to while you're listening to me or have this on your phone. You can go in your closet right now and you can identify the things that you use and wear and the things you don't. And it's going to be this much stuff in the closet and you're going to wear this much, right? I will intentionally wash my workout outfits. But number one, I'm sweaty. But number two, because those are my favorite outfits, right? And so when I do spring cleaning, I go in and I say to my closet, okay, I look at everything. Have I worn this in the last 12 months? Okay, that's the first thing I do. We're going to get to the money. Don't worry about it. We're getting to the money. But have I worn this in the last 12 months? If the answer is no, then it goes to another category. Is this like one of a kind? Is it one of a kind? Can I not get this anywhere else? And is it like really on one of my favorite list, even though I haven't worn it? If the answer is yes, it stays in the closet. If the answer is no, then it's got to go. And I create a pile that's going to go to the Goodwill, it's going to go to Salvation Army, but it's going to go help someone else. Because there are people, you've got dresses that you bought, you got fits that you bought, you wore them twice, and you ain't seen them since. And it ain't because you gained weight. It's because you just ain't worn them. It really wasn't your favorite. Somebody else, that's going to be their favorite outfit. And here's the purpose, right? Here's the purpose of this. And I haven't given you the rule. I've given you the results. I haven't given you the rule. I'm going to give you the rule. Don't worry. But here's the deal. If you don't know by now that you have to make space for more. I was talking earlier. I was saying, hey, we are creators. We all want more. You want more life. You want another day. You want more resources. You want better bread. You want more finer foods. You want to be more fit. We all want something that's more. And that is the way we were created. So it's not a bad thing. Some people, you say, oh, they're just greedy. And some people are maybe gluttonous, right? When it comes to resources, money, or hoarding things. And that's an extreme. We know, and we hopefully can agree. Hey, by the way, if you want to participate in the show, you can hit me up. You can text me. We got a bunch of individuals that are on. Hey, Kobe, good afternoon. Tara, Coach Dawn, Kim. So if you want to join the show, hit us up on Facebook or YouTube, or you can text the show. We'll take your messages. We do every week. 419-972-1922 if you're on the radio, vibe106.com. This is the 24K Live Show. We are talking about how you can do less and get more. Or as I put it in the video meme, the little thumbnail, how do you get more doing less? And, it's one of those things where everyone talks about, or tries to sell you. Right? We're going to talk about all this. They try to sell you on the concept that you don't have to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. And I don't know about that. I think you need to do a lot, but you got to do it in the right space. So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that if you look in your closet, you only wear 20% of what's in there. The 80% is just there. It's just filler for those really rare occasions. And for ladies, and I'm not being sexist, I'm just telling you what I've observed over my 60 years on the planet. I mean, you really aren't going, especially when we're talking about socially, you're not going to wear the same fit more than 5 times in a couple years. You're not. So you need to look at your closet and get rid of that. Now, why do you need to get rid of it? I was saying, because you need to make space for more. See, when you push everything out and there's no more capacity internally in your mind, in your heart, in your head, in your closet, if there's no more space, then you're telling yourself, I have what I need. And for those of you in radio land, I got my hand up and I got my other hand hitting a glass ceiling. You're going to hit that glass ceiling because there's no capacity for more. So subconsciously, you're saying to yourself, I don't have any room for more. So you don't get more. But guess what happens when you clean your closet out? You start to identify those key pieces that you want to add back in. And now you're not only being selective, you've created more space, you've created more organization, you've created more discipline, you've created more consistency. So here's the rule. It's called the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule is simply that when you take a look at your productivity, we're talking about if you're on a diet, we're talking about if you're at work, so even if we take work, the rule is that 80% of the results that you get come from the 20% effort. So let me tell you as an entrepreneur, let me tell you as if you're making money, or even if you're at work 9 to 5. What I'm saying to you is that and I know, let's say you work 9 to 5, you work a regular job, you go and you get in there. And I know, and your employer knows it too. Why they refuse to do something about it, I don't know. But they know that they could remove 80% of the responsibilities that you have, and your productivity is going to stay the same or go up. And the reason why is because only 20% of what you do really affects the job. It really affects the results. It's just a proven fact. And this is not something that you guess on. I'm telling you, this happens time after time after time. Clean your closet out. You're not going to miss the clothes, but you're going to feel a hell of a lot better about going in your closet. It's not as messy. It's more organized. You know exactly what you have. I just love that example because I think it's true. And every time I decide to spring clean, even if I haven't purchased a lot more stuff, I have a lot more stuff to get rid of. And I feel good about getting rid of it because I'm making room for new stuff. So if you want to know the secret is that you have to analyze your life, and you have to analyze every aspect of your life. So we're going to analyze our time, right? We're going to analyze our time. And we're going to say, not talking about work, because you got to go to work. Outside of work, you're going to analyze your time, and you're going to say to yourself, what am I spending time on that produces most of my happiness? Let's just talk about happiness. So it's going to be a very few things, right? You're going to say, well, talking to this person, or playing this game, or cooking these things. My sister's got me hooked on baking sourdough bread. And if you would have asked me before I learned how to make sourdough bread, hey, do you think you would enjoy making sourdough bread? And I honestly would have said, who thinks about that? Like, man, maybe, I don't know. Why would I care? But let me tell you something. She introduced this concept of baking the bread. I struggled to get it off the ground. Being an amazing sister, she sent me everything plus what I needed to get it off the ground. I got it off the ground, and my family was in love with the sourdough bread, which was the result. Here's my point. When I look at my time, I'm going to remove some things that I don't technically enjoy doing in my personal time, or doesn't benefit me. It could be hanging out on the couch, right? It could be playing Mahjong on my iPad. I don't play any other games. I just play the Mahjong. All right. But it could be doing that less and then baking bread, because now all of a sudden I'm baking the bread. I'm happier than I was sitting on the couch. I'm more productive than I was sitting on the couch. It affects my health because sourdough bread. And if you don't know about sourdough bread, I'm telling you, you're missing out. You need to go check out the benefits, the health benefits, if you're going to eat bread, of eating sourdough bread. And somebody said to me a couple days ago, because I can't even imagine you eat bread. I go, yeah, until I found this sourdough bread. Check this out. And we're not talking about the ones you get at the store. If you don't make it yourself, I'm not talking to you. Because when you make sourdough bread, there's 3 ingredients. There's 3 ingredients. And it makes the most amazing bread that you can put anything in it you want to. Right? We put cheese in it. We put, you see, you got me all off track. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, check it out. But when I'm analyzing my life, when you're analyzing your time, you want to say, what brings me the most happiness? Conversely, you want to say, what don't I enjoy? Who don't I enjoy talking to? What topics don't I have an affinity for, or gets me upset, right? It could be talking to your mama. I don't know. But why do it? Especially if you've grown, if you're a little kid, you don't have no choice. You got to talk to your mama. So we're going to take you through the financial side of the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle is also called the 80-20 rule. And Alfredo Pareto was an Italian engineer. He was an Italian economist. The story goes that he really was a farmer, but he was more of an economist. And what he noticed was that 80% of all the wealth was tied up in the 20% of the people. And for those of us that are modern day, this was back in early 1900s, he did this study. For those of us in current times, we know that 2% of the country has the majority of the wealth. And so we want to know why that is. And we want to know how we can take advantage. How can we benefit from this information? How can we benefit from understanding and knowing what's truly going on in the economy and what we can do to get our 20% making us 80% more? And I'm going to share that with you as soon as we come back.
Have you ever been paralyzed by fear? Do you allow others to influence your desires? I'm here to be your guide. Curate an experience that's just for you. I am Dawn Johnson, and I am the dopest life coach that you didn't know you needed.
Hey, if you need a life coach, reach out to dawnjohnson.com. It's DAWN Johnson.com. She'll help you out. She'll get you straight.
So everybody's been asking me, how can I do this? How can I stay at such a luxurious hotel in North Beach, Miami, called the Sherry? I can do it because of my friend Derek, because I applied the smart money principles that he displayed for us all. Listen, check him out.
Hey, so Alfredo Pareto took all of his information and he started to analyze it. And he also analyzed like crops. Like, he looked at it, pea pod crops, and he looked at other areas of our lives and said, I think this is kind of a standard. And so he did the research, he did the homework. And in doing the homework, what he found out was 20% is all you need. You need 20% of your friends, because the other 80% is causing you trouble. They're asking for your money, they're getting in your wallet, they're taking up your time. And even as an entrepreneur, I want you to take a look at where your money comes from, right? When you take a look at where your money comes from, which products are the best sellers, which customers are the most profitable to your business, and what you're going to find is that you're spending 80% of your time on people, on things, on products, on improvements that don't directly affect your bottom line. They do not get you more clients. So then you got to say, okay, what does get me more clients? Who is paying me? Who's buying my products and services? And you want to focus on those people. That's your avatar. And see, the problem for the average person is that we look at it and say, well, we want it all. And the truth of the matter is that you can't handle it all. You're not vast enough to handle it all. You are not made to handle it all. Think about it this way. You're at work and you're the boss. And instead of allowing all of the individuals that's on your team to add their best contributions to the team, you're going by everybody's desk, making sure that they're doing it your way. And therefore you're diluting their expertise and you're diluting your results. So when you think about it, you want to take a look and you say to yourself, hey, why do bosses have their favorites? Because those are the 20% that are producing results. And you are failing to understand that when you give your best and you produce results, you are rare, because most people are trying to figure out how to just skate by. They're not trying to figure out how to deliver their best. They're missing the boat. They're missing the fact that when you go to work, even for someone else, and Tara, we've talked about this before, even when you're working for someone else, if you're not in a ownership mindset, if you're not in a mindset that I need to deliver excellence, then you're going to deliver mediocrity. And if you're delivering mediocrity, guess what? You are mediocre. And if you are mediocre, you're going to attract more mediocrity. I mean, you got to really dig into this. But if you're the one that shows up and shows out, and it's not just on one day a week, but they depend on you to show up and show out, you're raising your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you're raising the attraction point of the people that are also in a higher vibration. Because think about it this way. Whenever you get fit, right? You're the one in your family, you decide to get fit. And then everybody starts telling you, oh, girl, you're good. You don't need to lose any more weight. You're like, oh, no, you're fine. Stay where you are. You're going to look terrible if you do any more. And the reason why is because you have vibrated higher. You have put yourself in a healthier position, which made you sexier, which made you shine brighter, which makes you smile brighter. So you've put yourself in a better position. They're vibing where they always were, and now you're vibing up here. And what they're telling you, listen very carefully, what they're telling you is that if you don't come back down here, then I can't deal with you up here because I'm not up here. So the reason why they want you to come down is because they're unwilling to come up. What? Are you thinking about what I'm saying? And you think about this in every aspect of your life, your fitness, your relationships, your finance. So when it comes to finance, you got to take a look at you can look at every aspect of finance, but I want you to take a look at your bring home. Like, what are you bringing home? Okay. So you have your bring home check and you're looking at it and you want to ask yourself, okay, well, let's sit down and figure out where my money's going. Right? So you're going to break it down. You're going to say, okay, the categories are fixed expenses. So these are things that the payment's the same every month. Your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, your insurances. Now I know they change every 6 months, but there's fixed for 6 months. Cell phone bill may vary a little bit, given the fact if you've added some programs or if you're buying things, which I don't do, but let's just say that's fixed also. And then you have your revolving debt. That's your debt. It's like your credit card. You could pay it off, you could charge on it again, and the balance is going to be right back where it was. So you have revolving debt. You can pay it off, but it can come back. You can use it. So then you have your personal expenses. So we're talking about your food, your groceries, all of those things. And then, of course, what's left over. Now, don't think that I'm not smart enough to know that people have way more debts than that. Of course, your utilities are going to go in your fixed, but people have bad habits. People have other things they spend money on. Just find one of those categories to put it into. And then you want to figure out what's left over. What's left over? Because when you look at where your money's going, I can give you the parameters. You're supposed to be about 18% of your revenue, your bring home pay, should be allocated towards transportation. And when I say transportation, I mean the whole shooting match. It should be the car payment, the car insurance. It should be the gasoline, and it's not for, don't worry about the maintenance, but we won't include the maintenance. But your core expenses, 18%. Your housing, ideally 25%, but the bank will allow you up to 28%. So 25 to 28% for your housing. That's your utilities, your rent, all those type of things. And then personal care, about 25% for personal care. So if you add all those up, you are about 85%. That means that 10 to 15% should be left over. And when you look at that 10 to 15%, we want to see where's that money going, because that's the money. That's the money, that 20%, almost 20%, that's going to change your life. That's the money that's going to change your life. And if you're not at 20%, let's say you're closer to the 10% that's left over, then we want to make sure that we're making better choices. You're not going to change your finances that day, but you want to get it down to the point to where the 20% of your bring home pay is what's going to make you wealthier. Now, this is going to get convoluted, but listen, savings, you can never save your way to wealth. You just can't. You can't save your way to wealth. Now, if you are 21 years old, so my son's listening, he's been saving since he was about 23, 24, you can save your way to wealth. You can, but you won't be wealthy until your 50s or 60s, but you can save your way there. That's not what you really want, is it? Remember, we talked about this. You want more. Hey, if you're a friend of the show and you want to comment, this is vibe106.com, Derek Gant, the 24K Life Show. And if you want to join the show, hit us up, 419-972-1922. If you're on our YouTube channel, make sure you drop some hearts, drop some love. I got no hearts. I got a lot of comments, but no hearts. Not sure what's going on here. This is a mutiny. I need some hearts, everybody. So listen, text us if you have a question. We also want you to know that this episode was brought to you by Amin Poet Production Company. Amin Poet, AMINPOET. When sound is all you got and you need a sound engineer for your parties, for your gatherings, for your big meetings, reach out to Amin Poet Production Company. They are available and ready to help you right now. So we're talking about doing less and getting more. And if you're really flowing with me, I still didn't get no hearts. Man, y'all being hardcore. Anyway, if you want to get more, then you have to really focus on the way you're made. And the way that you're made is you have a specialty. Now, I used to ask this question when I taught in college. I was an an adjunct professor at a local college in Toledo, Ohio. And I used to ask the students this question. I'm going to ask you this question. If you have two skills, thank you, Tara. Tara's getting close. Tara, I need a heart, but thank you. I appreciate you. Love the love. Appreciate it. But I need a heart. Anyway, if you have two skills, okay, and one of those skills is a 6. So you're really good at this skill, it's a 6. You have another skill and you're pretty good at it, it's all right, but you're a 3. And I'm going to give you 3 points. You can put those 3 points on one of the skills, okay? One of the skills. You can put the 3 point on top of the one that you're okay at and have a 6 and a 6. Or you can put the 3 points on the 6 and have a 9 and a 3. And the question is, where are you going to improve your life? So I'm gonna give you these 3 points to improve your life. Where are you going to put these 3 points? Now, I'm gonna tell you right now that the students that answered this question, 80%, and I'm not saying first of all, let's be honest, there's no wrong answer. Okay, I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, but there's no wrong answer. But 80% of the group added their 3 points to the 3. 80%. So they were a 6 and a 6. So they had 2 skills. One's a 6, one's a 3. I'm giving them 3 points to improve immediately. 3 points to immediately improve their skill set. Which one are you going to do? 80% improve the 3. So now they're 6 and 6. And when I asked them why, they all said, well, isn't it good to be well balanced? Isn't it good? Like, people that are balanced are more stable. Those people are more dependable. They're more consistent. And I said, okay, I get you, no problem. And then the other group said they're going to add it to the 6. They're going to be a 9. So they're going to have a 9 and a 3. Then, I asked them, why did you all choose to do that? And of course they said, well, I want to make sure that I'm really good at something. Okay, why do you want to be really good at it? Well, because people who are really good, they didn't have the answer, I gave them the answer. But people that are really good at something are valued in society more than people that are mediocre at something. The people that are mediocre or average, the 2 6s, they work for the 9. Now, do you want to be a leader or a follower? I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Now, everybody isn't a mass leader. They might lead in their own lives, but they're not a mass leader. They're not a community leader. They lead themselves, which is fine. That's great. But the question becomes, what do you want? And do you want to make your life easier? So if you want to make your life easier, you're going to take what you know and you're going to not go wider. You're going to go deeper. You're going to be better. You're going to become better. See, going deeper means you are getting better at who you are, what you deliver, and what people see you as and value you as. And when we talk about other people, we're not talking about their approval. We're talking about their wallet. When you become you want the best plumber, or you want the one that just started, the one that kind of fixes pipes, or the guy that fixes pipes? Who do you want? You want the best surgeon when they're going to cut you open? Or you want the mediocre surgeon? He's consistent. Or do you want the expert? Come on now, so this rule applies no matter where you look at it in life. The rule sticks. It's not a finicky rule. It's the 80-20 rule. You want to be a part of the 20% that are valued, that are experts at a thing that society needs, wants, and is looking forward to. That's what you truly want. Now, if you don't want that, which thank God for the people who don't want that. We need consistent sixes. We need them to work for us. We need them to not want a lot, but to buy our stuff, right? You need those people. So let's not get it twisted. We need people, and we need people that aren't out there just beating their own drum, because if everybody's beating their own drum, none of us would be marching at all. I'm a big fan of beating the drum and being the leader, because there's plenty of mediocre people thinking about doing something, but not doing it. And that's the difference between doers and thinkers. And the Bible says faith without works is dead. Now, that simply means that you can believe all you want to, but you better get your butt up and get to doing it. And only the 20% are willing to do that. We're going to go deeper into the money segment when we come back.
Walk in the storm, but I cannot stay. Rain on my baby and never forget. Blessing on blessings, devil take shots, but I'm making escape. Bible my tool, I don't need defense. I'm on God and still on my fence. Worried is all when I'm giving stress. Favor like water, it covers the best. I don't see shade, I just stand in the glow. King on the vest, be back on the road. Vision from God and you can't let it go. Trip of the spirit, clean up the sand. Faith all day, came my way. Grace so strong, you find no way. Light so bright, I'm feeling shit. Walk with God, never too late. Sold out gates, faith every day. Kingdom increase, throwing away. Peace in my chest, I'll be replaced. Holding his word, running my race. Trials don't come when I stand on his name. Breakthrough soon as I'm giving him praise. Blessing overflow, filling the way. Walking his light, I don't see the shade. Back at it again, we move with the king. Holy Spirit dripping and covered the team. Favorite celebrity, busting the seams. Hope in my pocket, not chasing no green. Walk fast, but I'm keeping my stance. Devil throw lock, they never advance. Blessings keep rising and feel like a trance. God got the plan, I'm just giving a chance. Ran through the valley, he carried me through. Storms came heavy, but they never moved. Kingdom invested, I walk on true. My shine cause he shine, it's nothing but pain. Through all the pain, yeah, you lift me high. Faith don't expire, heart on fire. Walk with the king, ain't nothing required. Cover that's grace, that's all I desire. Sold out case, faith every day. Kingdom increase, throwing away. Got peace in my chest, can not be replaced. I'm holding his word, I'm running my race. Trials don't come, but I stand on his name. Breakthrough soon as I'm giving him praise. Blessing overflow, feel like a way. Walking his light, I don't see the shade. He lifted me, he got me, I'm walking like he loved me.
That is Easy on the Track, Sold Out Gates. That is a great tune. We're going to come back with more Easy as soon as we get done. Hey, don't sleep on Easy. He wrote the 24K Live song, and I am happy to be one of the individuals that he puts his great talents on. This is Derek Gant on Vibe106.com, the 24K Live show. I am excited because more people are thinking about their financial future. I like to call it their sovereignty. Won't you want to be sovereign? Doesn't that word sound cool? Like, we know most kings in history, they were sovereignty. We're not talking about ruling a kingdom. We're talking about ruling your domain. Wouldn't it be amazing just to be in control of you, your emotions, your triggers, your results, to the tune that nothing outside of you could affect you? So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about just avoiding folks. We're talking about being in control of your universe, your divinity, your area. All I want to do as a guy, as a man, as a financial advisor, is I want my community to thrive. I want them to pick up the phone and text, man, I just got my next largest contract I've ever got. I just met the perfect person. And in order to live this life, we've been pushed systematically into gluttony, right? Look at your house. Look at the things that you've stacked up that you never look at, that you never use. Clothes that you haven't seen in 5 years. You haven't seen them in 5 years. They're still in your closet. You just haven't seen them because you haven't worn it. And we need to understand that everything, listen to me very clearly, everything is moving. Everything's moving. That means that everything is energy. So they've put, if you don't know this, man, you have been sleeping. They have put rocks, like a hard A rock, under a microscope, a super duper microscope. And when they put it under this big microscope, they can see the atoms in the rocks moving because everything is energy. And so what I'm saying to you is that you're using your energy. And if you aren't using your energy, you are still using your energy. You're just using a lower vibration. And you say to yourself, man, why not me? So I got my hair done yesterday. I got my hair retightened. I was with my stylist, and she's retightening my locks. And you can see, for those of you on YouTube, you can see she braided me up. She got your boy looking pretty good, right? Don't take a lot. I'm just teasing. Anyway, and she was saying, you know, I work so hard, and I do this, and I do this, and I've got my hand in this, and I got my hand in that, and I just don't understand. And she's paused because she was looking for the right word. And the word she came up with, I thought was a really good word. She goes, why am I not fruitful? Right? See, when you have fruit, that means that you're enjoying the end result. Because in the beginning, there's a seed, right? You got to plant something. And then you got to water that thing. And watering it means you got to go grab water. You got to haul it back to the farm. You got to put it on the crops, right? And then you got to till the soil. You got to pull the weeds. You got to work, right? That's the work. So you've planted the seed. So the seed is only going to do what a friggin' seed does. If you plant a peach seed, you're not going to get tomatoes. You're not. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You have a seed inside of you. You've been called and you've been coded. The coded part is the seed. He's planted a seed in you, and you can only produce whatever it is that he planted in you, and you too trifling to figure out what that is. But he's planted, he's given you a seed. And then your job is to water it. It's to pull the weeds, okay? And so once you've watered it, and you've pulled the weeds and it starts to grow, it grows into a tree, right? It grows into a tree. If you want peaches, okay? So I'm sorry, I'm reading comments. I see you, Tara. I see you, Tara. Thank you, girl. What? You like the news? Anyway, so I lost my track. See, somebody tells me I look nice and I lose my train of thought. So you get a tree, but the tree hasn't borne any fruit yet. So you got to wait till that tree gets a certain size. And while you're waiting for it to get a certain size, you got to continue to water it and tend it. Tending it is the work. You have to prune it. So eventually, when that tree gets big enough, it produces a peach. So the process takes time. And if you decide, well, I'm going to plant in the same soil, I'm going to plant peaches, I'm going to plant apples, I'm going to plant walnuts, you're not going to get anything because all the roots are fighting each other. So earlier when I said to you, you got to figure out how to go deeper on a subject matter. That's my 2 cents if you want to be greater. So you don't need to do more. You just need to learn more by going deeper. And going deeper is so much easier than going wider. Let me give you an example. So every 2 years, part of my being a financial advisor, I have to do some continuing education. So when I do my continuing education, I have an insurance license. And in order to keep that insurance license, they want you to stay up, right? What's the fraud rules? What's the errors and omission rules? What are the ethics rules? So you got to do all that, right? And you need 24 hours. So when I look at the list of courses, my license allows me to do home insurance, auto insurance, disability insurance, annuities, life insurance, long-term care insurance, group health insurance. So I got all these things that I can do. But the first 2 years of my experience as a financial advisor, I spent selling life insurance. So when I look at all of these courses to get these 24 hours, I'm not looking at auto insurance. I'm not looking at group life or health insurance. I'm going to stick with all the courses that relate to what I already know. And maybe because it's a continuing education, it'll teach me something new, but I can go deeper. So I'd rather be the one guy that knows everything in the universe about how to grow a peach tree than to be a guy that knows how to make lettuce and walnuts, because there's lots of people that know how to do that. Lots. Right? But there's only one or two experts, only the 20%. I'm Derek Gant. This is the 24K Life Show on Vibe106.com. We are talking about the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. We're talking about doing less, but getting a hell of a lot more. And that's what we really want to do. So we're talking about our money. We're talking about our activity. We're talking about your friends and your relationship. And I'm going to tell you that you need to get rid of those friends that cause you consternation. The ones with all their hands always out because they did you a favor when you were 12. They saved you from the bully when you were 12 and you're still paying for it. Got to cut them loose. They're not there to help you. My goal, my job over the last 35 plus years has been to learn as much about personal finance as I can. And what I can tell you is that when you look at a wealthy person, they usually have one thing that they do extremely, excruciatingly well. And they might have something else as a byproduct. I'll give you a great example. So I got a good friend of mine, and he owned a bunch of gas stations. When I say a bunch, I mean over 100 gas stations. So he's a multi-millionaire. He and his family have a couple of airplanes that they fly themselves. And so I went in to talk to him because we used to chop it up all the time. We're friends. So he let me sit in on some of his business meetings, okay? And there's one particular business meeting. I come in and he's in this marketing meeting and he sees me walk by because his conference room was encased in glass. So he can see me walk by. So he waves me in and I'm like, oh man, I did not want to interfere with your meeting. He goes, no, come on in, sit down. You might learn something. Great. So I sit in on this meeting and they're talking about where to put the beer in the beer cage inside of the gas station. Now remember, he owns over 100 gas stations. And so I asked him, I said, after the meeting was over, I'm like, dude, what was all the hullabaloo about where to put this beer? Because, is it at eye level? Is it lower? Is it higher? Is it to the left? Is it to the right? Is it front and center? So where you put something is important because that's where people's eyes go. So he explained to me that there were studies done on human psychology. So they've had all these humans come in to this take a test, and they learned human nature about bending over, about reaching up, about eye level, to the tune of even in grocery stores. If you notice, when you go in the grocery store, they put all the kids stuff low. All the sugary cereals are low. All of the healthy cereals are higher. And the reason why they do it, of course, is because the kids see their favorite cereal and they start bugging the hell out of mom or dad to get that cereal because it's at their eye level. And it works. Positioning on shelf placement is a huge business. So we're talking about this placement, and I'm getting to the 80-20. And I said to him, well, why are you guys so worried about what's inside the store? And he said, do you understand that we're really in the real estate business, number one? And I'm like, no, you're in the gas station business. He goes, dude, our real estate portfolio is worth over $100 million. Well over $100 million, a couple $100 million. The real estate. The actual gas station, we make pennies on the dollar for pumping gas. We don't make that much money on gas. We can't regulate the price. We can't set the price. The prices are set, and if you change the prices too much over your competitors a couple blocks up the street, you will get fined and they will shut you down. So we can't make a whole lot of money on the gas. So I go, okay, well, where's the beer come in? He goes, let me help you. When people get out of their car and come inside the store, the convenience store, and they buy a 89-cent fountain drink, that fountain drink cost us 4 cents. We make more money on cash flow from people getting out of their car to come buy a cup of coffee or buying a fountain drink, okay, than we do on anything else, period. Now, the value is in the real estate, but their cash flow is in you getting out of the car and coming to the store. So gasoline in this example was third on the list of value. It was third. Real estate, the fountain drinks, the gasoline. So what I'm saying to you is that these people are looking at their 20%. And they are promoting it. So now you know why they have a Speedway gas card, why they have a Circle K gas card, so that you can come in and get your discount on the most profitable items that they're making the most money on. Because they're not giving you a discount card on the gasoline, right? They're giving you a discount on the items in the store. Now, if you go to Cubs or Kroger's and they give you a Kroger card, you can take that card and if you buy enough stuff, then you can get your gas prices a little bit less. You can get 10 cents off your gas. And you're thinking, man, I'm getting over. Meanwhile, they're making money hand over fist because they want you buying more things. So when we take a look at the 80-20 rule, I really need you to dig in and ascertain where are you spending, more importantly, where are you wasting 80% of your money, of your time, of your talent, of your resources. Where are you wasting the 80%? So here's your homework. I want you to sit down and I want you to write down the 4 core areas. Write down your money. Write down your conversation. Your conversation. What are you saying to others and what are you saying to yourself? What story are you telling yourselves that really isn't true, but you keep pushing it? Like, everybody hates me. I never win. Things are always going wrong for me, right? When you're telling yourself this story, your brain is listening to 80% of it. And then the 20% of the time you're saying, I'm really good, I'm great, life's good to me. The 20% that you're saying that is getting crushed. It's getting crushed by the 80% of noise. There's no room. We need to clear out what we're saying to ourselves. I need you to take a look at your body. What are you eating that's causing your weight to be 80% of the problem, right? 20% of what you're eating is crushing you. It could be what you're drinking. Let's just say what you're consuming. 20% of what you're consuming is causing 80% of your problem. So let's take a look at what you're eating. What could you get rid of if you wanted to be more fit? If you wanted to, because you can go to the gym, but trust and believe your fitness is going to show up in the kitchen. I'm just here to make your life better. I'm here to help you really understand what people who are winning, what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're avoiding 80% of the bull, 80% of the noise, 80% of the negative, 80% of the things holding them back, 80% of the crappy stories that they're telling themselves. They focus on the 20 that's producing all the results. I need you to do analysis on your life. I need you to really want to live a better life. And you can do that. You can do that if you're doing your part. And your part, just like I showed you about the peach tree, is to do the work. And the work is getting rid of the 80%.
Heaven favor on me now. Every step got purpose in it. Walk through the fire, came back refined. Whole life got courage. Fresh off the road with a heart restored, feel the spirit emerging in it. Pain on my chest, started losing its grip when I prayed with an earnest spirit. Covered in peace, moving with ease when I was certain in it. Now when the storm try to rise, I stand, ain't nothing I'm nervous with it. Used to be lost with a hole in my soul. can find no purpose in it. Got to my life, go open my walk, now watch how I flourish. Heaven favor on me, I'm moving correct. Grace got me covered from losses and threats. Walk through the valley with nothing but steps. God put me back when I fell in the depths. Storms try to hit, but his love don't bend. Peace to my chest when the pressure is thin. Lifting me up when I broke in the end. Now I go harder cause he made me win. Favor on me, walking the steps. Grace on my neck, feel it protect. Fresh out the road, barely get rest. Pray through the month, blessings collect. Word on my chest, I'm the best. Back in my spirit, cover the mess. He gave me peace, I know the rest. Count on the mercy, watch how it stretch. Glory gon' shine, light through the stress. Walk with the king, I'm truly blessed. Came from the valley with hurt in my heart. He pulled me up, strengthened my steps. Walking with truth, no need for finesse. Wisdom and faith, tools I invest. He took the pain and turned it to growth. Now I stand tall when life try to test. Having favor on me, I'm moving correct. Grace got me covered from losses and threats. Walk through the valley with nothing but steps. God put me back when I fell in the depths. Storm try to hit, but his love don't bend. Peace in my chest when the pressure is thin. Lifting me up when I broke in the end. Now I go harder cause he made me win. Didn't take long, his presence control. 5 minutes of praying and lifted the load. Strengthen my body, fire in my soul. Everything shifted when I let him hold. Favor in motion, blessings unfold. Peace in the places I once was cold. Walking with power, fearless and bold. Trusting his plan in the highs and the lows. Courage inside me, no fear in my chest. He took the guilt and replaced it with rest. Trials get heavy, but still I'm blessed. Moving in spirit, he handle the stress. Mercy renew every day that I wait. Breath in my lungs is a gift that he made. I'm in his hands, no room for the fake. Foundation solid that nobody shake. Having favor on me, I'm moving correct. Grace got me covered from losses and threats. Walk through the valley with nothing but steps. God put me back when I fell in the depths. Storms try to hit, but his love don't bend. Peace in my chest when the pressure is thin. Lifting me up when I'm broken in the end. Now I go harder cause he made me win. Whole lot of weight, but he lifted the stress. Cleaned up the flaws I tried to suppress. Lined up my path when I lived in a mess. Now every move got a heavenly blessed. Wisdom inside me, peace I protect. Follow his voice and it keep me direct. He the foundation, Lord of the breath. Giving me purpose, he right every step. Pulled from the dark when I needed it most. Healed every scar like a surgeon and knows. Strengthened my heart when I felt like a ghost. Now I'm alive with a heavenly boast. Mercy in motion, faith on the go. Trials get loud, but your promise is bold. Grace in my soul and it keep me afloat. Now I walk proudly in stories he wrote. Heaven favor on me, and the proof gon' show.
That is easy on the track.
Grace in my love when the world say no. God.
Easy on the tracks, heaven's favor. Hey, listen, we all need some favor. Don't you need some favor? In addition to some favor, don't you need some grace? Listen to me very carefully. If you want, if you need, and I told you before, you get what you need much quicker than you get what you want. So let's make it a need to analyze our lives this week, today, and let's figure out 1 or 2 things that we can eliminate. Maybe you say to yourself this week, listen, this week, I'm not going to do any arguing or fighting with anybody or the person that really is always in your cage. I'm not going to get upset. I count to 10. I'm going to leave the room. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to not go there this week. And then also let's take a look at our money. And you might say, Derek, hey, you've been doing this a long time. You know, a lot of people are living on the number, right? They make 100, they spend 100. I get that. So let's take a look at what your 20% of your talent that you could use to multiply that 100, because you're called, you're coded. And if you tap into your 20%, figure out how to go deeper. We're not talking about going back to school. You don't need to go back to school. How can you go deeper on what you already know in order to elevate your financial life? And if you struggle with that, hit me up, joinderek.com, joinderek.com. And I'm happy to help walk you through. I did it with a client. She's not ready to retire. She's 55, not ready to retire. She needs another 4 to 5 years, but she don't want to go back to corporate. So we're digging into what she was called and coded to do so that she can multiply her income, make more, or at least what she needs to get where she needs and wants to go. This is Derek Gant, 24K Live Show on Vibe106.com. Thank you so much for joining us. I love each and every one of you. Come back next week. We're excited about everything that we're doing to make your life a 24K life. Have a great day, everyone. All right, fam. Be well.